What's good, YouTube? It's been like 7 months since I last filmed, but we did it. I purchased the vehicle that's been on my vision board for the past 5 years or so, and you guys probably already know what it is by the title of this video, so here we go. Here is my 2022 BMW M4 Competition. You can actually see that I've had it for a few months already because I already have my custom plate on here. If you know the meaning of this plate, then you are a real e-com final level boss guru. The color on this car is called Drive It Gray, so you can see that it's gray right now, but then if I put my flashlight on it, it has like this crazy champagne tint to it, so it almost looks like gold in the sunlight. It's pretty insane. Also got the red calipers to match the red guts inside. Here is the interior. It's got red seats. It does have back seats in here as well, but they're super small. Coolest part about this car is when I hit the unlock button, these M4 things light up. You can see it better at night. Also, the seat moves by itself. It's kind of crazy. Interior has a shitload of carbon fiber in here. Here's the dash too. It looks pretty dope. I can also hit this little button down here called M mode, and if I hit it, it switches the dash to this crazy racetrack style setup. I'll also open up the hood. Any of y'all know anything about the engines? It's an inline 6, and I think it has 2 twin turbos, which are in here and in here. They're just covered up. It's got this kind of frame to hold the engine down, but it's super dope. Few mods that I've already done in the couple of months of having this car. Yes, I know I'm late. I did the grille here, replaced the regular black plastic with this carbon fiber. Oh shit. That's right. This is all carbon fiber. Front lip is also carbon fiber, so it looks pretty cool. Mirror caps, carbon fiber. The roof is full carbon fiber if you look very closely. I got a little carbon fiber for this thingy. IG handle, of course. I attract more men than I do ladies with that. And I got this sweet looking spoiler put on the back of the car that just kind of makes it look a little bit more aggressive. Oh yeah, and then I got these exhaust tips as well, which are super fat and look way better than the stock ones. But yeah, this is the car. I don't know if I'm going to do any crazy mods to it or anything. We'll see. I actually hit 160 in this car on the way home from the dealership in Atlanta. So the reason that this video is so late and I already have my plate and a few mods is because I actually recorded a full video and then I lost the SD card. I recorded flying up to Atlanta, buying the car, driving it back, signing the papers, everything. It was such a cool video. It was super dope. I was with my mom. It was honestly an emotional, happy video, and I lost the SD card. I think it's somewhere deep in my washer, but I was pissed. But I honestly think that everything happens for a reason, because the story that I'm about to tell about just kind of my life and some of the things that I've learned that helped me get this car is something that I wouldn't have told in the original video. Super, super happy moment in my life right now. 5 years ago, I genuinely thought that I had made it. I made my first real money dropshipping in 2019. Immediately after making that real money, I remember vividly going to Lenox Mall in Atlanta, Georgia, and dropping that whole bag on a Prada chest piece and a pair of Balenciagas like I unlocked the cheat code to life. Shortly after that, I graduated high school and I moved to North Shore, Oahu, Hawaii with one of my buddies, where me and my homie rented out the bottom of $1 million house on Waimea Bay. Waking up and going snorkeling in the crystal clear water of the Pacific and making money online honestly made me feel unstoppable. And then COVID hit. Literally within months, I went from shopping at designer stores and living on Waimea Bay with beach views to not even being able to afford rent. This is where my life took a major downward spiral, and honestly, God humbled me in the best way possible looking back. At this point in my life, I was negative money. I owed the IRS money, and I had a couple months to figure shit out. Literally figure out how I was going to survive. This was the first time that reality actually punched me in my mouth. I got a job working at, it's bumpy over here. I got a job working at a warehouse for $13 an hour. This job had me waking up at 5 a.m. to unload crates straight from China in the 100+ degree Georgia heat. Inside those crates, it was even hotter. It got up to like 125, 130 degrees. So I was sweating my ass off. I unloaded crates for about 6 or 7 months, and then I moved up in the company and became a forklift operator, which was a little bit better, but still waking up at 5 a.m. to go to a warehouse and be a forklift driver for $13 an hour was so ass. I literally remember clocking in at 6 in the morning and sitting on that forklift and thinking, how the fuck did I get here from being in Hawaii just a few months prior? The whole time I was working at the warehouse though, I really never stopped learning, and I was trying to find a product that would pop and get me out of my situation. Almost every night after my shift, I would either be working on something related to a dropshipping product or store, or just consuming content or buying courses or whatever it was. But I was still running ads and still testing products, just trying to figure shit out. And then one day, me and my ecom buddies that I partnered up on a store with found a banger product, and I still remember hitting that first 5K day. And I just remember feeling this overwhelming sense of hope and joy at the same time, looking at that 5K dashboard and just thinking to myself, holy shit, like this is still possible. And that's when I really started getting deep into media buying and dropshipping as a whole. So anyways, that's when I started getting like really back into e-commerce and honestly just believing in myself again. I still knew that making 20 or 30K on a dropshipping store isn't going to pay all my bills. So what I did was put that experience that I had from running those ads for this store that we just ran up on my resume. Over 100 job applications later, I landed a gig at a startup digital marketing agency where I was just doing kind of like grunt work, getting campaigns out, doing reports, things like that. 7 months later, the startup ended up not starting up at all. So I put that experience on my resume and landed a job at a little bit of a bigger agency where again, I was just kind of like a grunt. The whole timeline that I'm talking about right now is in between the periods of 2019 when I first moved to Hawaii to 2021 when COVID hit and I had to move back to Atlanta. Like I said, I was a grunt and I was basically micromanaged for like a year and a half or 2 years. And at one point I was even put on an employee improvement plan, working my ass off, trying to prove myself at this big agency just for somebody to tell me that I'm not performing. But to tell you the truth, that job paid my bills, put food in my mouth, and gave me just enough money to continue to test products. So I kind of thugged it out. By the time 2023 rolled around, I ended up testing products organically on TikTok and ended up having 2 clothing brands that kind of popped off. Made like 90K from selling vulgar t-shirts with like those TikTok carousels that you swipe through using like a text message conversation as a hook. You guys, honestly, if you were on TikTok in 2023, like seeing all those vulgar clothing brands, you probably saw mine, but there was a lot of them and then they got super saturated. So the other clothing brand, I ended up starting with the same homie that we ran up the product with me while I was working at the warehouse, so I trusted him. It was also a vulgar clothing brand, but this time it was baby tees for girls. It was called babytees.co. It was kind of like the same thing. It was a vulgar clothing brand, but this one was for girls and it was specifically baby tees. So we sold shirts that said things like "Hose Mad Your Honor" or like "Big Heart, Bigger Tits" or something like that, or like "I have no tits," right? And we ran that one up to, I want to say around like 100K in revenue as well with 20% margins. And then shortly after, he ended up draining the business bank account and ghosting me a month later. So a little bit of character built there. Never do business, even with your friends, without contracts and access to the business bank account. And if you're going into business with a friend, always have some sort of like partnership LLC so that your ass is covered if you guys get into any legal issues. I love when people tell me to rev the car. It's just like so satisfying. I'm driving through like the prettiest part of St. Pete, Florida right now. It's honestly so pretty over here. Water over here, pier down there. Everybody's just kind of like out and about. I got like 30 seconds left of the story, so I'm just gonna pull over and finish telling it. Long story short, I was doing grunt work for an agency that I hated working at, but I was making money. And then I got burned by one of my longtime business partners and really good friends at this point. Didn't quit though. By 2024, I landed a really good gig at a huge D2C e-commerce agency running ads for e-commerce brands that all of you watching this video have heard about. And by this point in my life, I was making decent money at the agency now, really getting the hang of drop shipping and like not just organic, but like like running ads and media buying. And then just like overall traveling and seeing more of the world. In 2024 was the first time that I went outside of the country and hit Europe and did Italy, Paris, and Switzerland in like one trip. So that was cool. Also, not to mention, I moved out of my mom's crib in Atlanta in 2024 and I got a high-rise apartment with one of my longtime best friends from Atlanta, and honestly just kept stacking my bread. I started doing a ton of things all within kind of the ecosystem of e-commerce and media buying, agency work, drop shipping, and running ads as a freelancer for more brands on the side. The sun is right in my face, but anyways, looking back, this story isn't about the wins. It's really about what the losses taught me. Because if I think about it and strip everything down, there are a few things that actually really helped to change my life. Number one is that people matter. Literally one conversation can change everything in your life. Every single opportunity that I was able to step into and doors that opened for me were because I talked to the right people. A DM, a random question, a random connection, a friend who believed in me. Even the friend who burned me taught me a lesson. You can be super smart and super talented, but it's really fucking hard to do things when you don't have the right people in your circle. If you truly want to build that huge thing on your mind, your vision, you can't do it on your own. Jeez, I really gotta like move out of the sun. Holy. Number two, consistency is everything. You probably hear it all the time, consistency, but it truly is everything. There was never one massive leap for me. It was more like small moves over and over and over again. For me, it was applying to 100 jobs or testing one more product or sending one more DM or whatever the case may be. I learned something really, really important that helped me along the way, and that was if you have a really big goal and that goal just almost seems like out of reach or like overwhelming or something, which they should, chop that big goal down into 3 smaller tasks that you can knock out every day and do those, and then 3 more, and then 3 more, and then 3 more, and then eventually you're gonna get there. The end is not infinitely far away. You're head down for 3, 6 months or even like a year, and eventually you're just somewhere different. And my mom always told me the days are long, but the years are short, which she was totally right. So what that means is even though the days may feel super, super long when you're trying to accomplish your goals, once you get there, you look back and you realize that it wasn't that long. When you're in it, it feels endless. The warehouse job for me felt endless, or like the micromanagement at the one agency I worked at felt endless. Honestly, being broke felt endless. 5 years goes by fast, and eventually it isn't that far away. Last one, big lesson number 3, and this one sounds corny, but you gotta be rich in your mind before you're rich in real life, which really just means you gotta believe you're meant to have the things that you want. Before I ever had like any real money stacked, every year on my birthday, I'd book a flight to Miami and rent out like a super dope penthouse. And I think the first year I rented out like a BMW i8. Second year I did like a C8. 2023, I think I went a little bit bigger and I rented a McLaren. I'd put myself in those environments. I'm not trying to say the M4 is a supercar or anything, but it definitely helped me get to where I'm at today. Basically, the point of it was to condition my mind and view these things as like normal, like they're just kind of like byproducts of success. To really convince myself that this was my future life that I just hadn't stepped into yet. Because if you don't believe that you belong in certain rooms, you'll sabotage yourself before you even get there. Oh, that was good. Anyways, now I'm driving this. So if you're somebody watching that's kind of stuck in their warehouse phase right now, just survive it. Stack your bread and stay consistent, because eventually isn't that far away. Peace.